Okay, now we're going to go over the most basic thing, as I mentioned, with left stick touches away from the ball. Now, this is the way that I'll practice it. You just go into a rival's game and just watch the control. I want you to focus purely on just the left analog stick taking touches away. So ignore everything else that you see. This would be a live gameplay example. So you can see my left analog stick, before the ball arrives to me, I've already decided which way I'm going to exit. See, like here, I'm exiting the right hand side. Now, you see that? That is risky. If you exit forwards and there's someone next to you, you have to be able to turn away quickly so you can keep the ball in a safe area. This is the problem that people have, is that when they make this pass, take a touch here and they realize, oh, they're in trouble, but they don't turn away like this. So you can always turn away if you want to. The key thing is, though, is just taking a touch into a safe area. See, to the left hand side, a little bit of a movement. Look, just watch my left analog, just caressing left analog stick. That's it. Just moving it normally. Now, I am using players with good agility and balance, but there's some players like Ronaldo who haven't got the best agility and balance. They still move the exact same way. It doesn't matter what player it is. Now, you can see, for example, like here, I'm literally using left analog stick, and I tried to go away. It didn't work out. Again, with Loren, take a touch away again. Now, you see, you can go forward, but you see, if I lose the ball here, it's very risky. Like, see, I can go forward here, but if I lose the ball, it's risky. So that's why I always take a touch away safe. Watch this. Take a touch away safe. Downwards to the left, and look at that white cursor as it comes towards me. Here I got space to the right hand side because no one expecting go into that position. We're not even going to run this game. We're just going to jog the entire game so I can show you a bit of how it works. We misplaced the pass. On the defensive end, we're going to jog though. So every time you see me lose the ball, just ignore what you're seeing over there when I lose the ball. Have a look now. I'm jogging, left analog stick, take a touch away. Jogging. Have a look. I'm facing the player, keeping it simple. If someone's in front of me or someone's running to take a touch away. See this? Look how easy it is to control the ball. Now you see that touch there? How to a touch in a contested area? That is the risk you're gonna take if you take a touch in an area that's contested. Sometimes the game will screw, but most of the time, as long as you take a touch away. Let's have a look at my left analog stick. See that Correa, how I beat that player? Took a touch away. He's applying pressure towards me. Now the question is, when do you go forward? Now you see with Mbappe, see there's no one next to Mbappe over there. That is why I made the pass to him. It doesn't matter what kind of player was there, because Mbappe committed into that position and there was no defender there, I was able to go forward. So like here with Mbappe, I can't go forward, so I want to pass the ball backwards. Same thing over here, I can't go forward, so I pass the ball backwards. And you can see, look, even if I just spend the entire, like let's say I spend the entire final third just passing the ball around, you can see a bit unlucky with that pass there. Because I'm always taking it simple. If I don't know where to go, I'm always going back towards goal. You see that? Away from the white cursor. So if I'm going towards my opponent to the left hand side, he's not selecting that player. So that player's not going to run to me. See? That player on the left, only if he selects him, you see? It's only if he selects him, he's going to run towards. Have a look here. Touch away. It's only if he selects that player or I run in to him that he can get the ball. There's no other way he can get the ball. So trust your players to make the opportunity. Again, don't worry too much about the goal. The goal is not important. We're just focusing on taking a touch away. Now I said, look, if you run into your opponent, he will tackle the ball. So if you try to get the ball and you run into him, he's going to get the ball. Again, as I said, don't worry about the defensive end. And even if you're under pressure, for example, like here, let's say it's a corner, and let's say if you just wanted to move your goalkeeper or whatever, when you headed the ball away, it's the same thing that really applies. Take a touch into the safe area. See, away from him. See how I'm countering? I'm taking a touch away. I'm going to use the run and jockey now. Get the ball back. I get the space in front of me so I can go into that space. And you see, like, when you're used to it, you can predict exactly where your opponent's going to be. Most of the time, if you're not sure, just go backwards. See, look, most of the time, if I go to the left-hand side, I'm always safe. That was a bad pass in the end by myself. I misplaced that pass. Ball off my opponent. Take a touch downwards. Take a touch away. Getting a bit under pressure. Not going to panic. I can see the space to the left-hand side. I take a touch away. See that? Even in these acute areas, I can trust myself to maneuver the ball even under pressure. The space in front of me, take a touch there. He's coming towards me, take a touch away. See, I'm pre-planning it. I'm looking at what he's doing. The space in front of me there, but I know he's going to outpace me. See, a lot of players there would run forward and lose the ball. Again, we're not going to run just for the first half. Just going to show you keep the ball. the ball in tight areas like this. Just left analog stick here. Just simple basics. Regular pass there. Wait. And then once you get to a higher level, you can learn to, of course, use a left stick dribble. Now again, this is basically the rudimentary basics of football on the FIFA end. Now, obviously, you could, even if you're an advanced dribbler, some people they still forget to debate. And some people, when they can dribble like this, but they fall under pressure. But have a look at this from my left. I'm always moving it away. This player is turning quicker because of his high agility and balance. Base in front of me, so I can take a touch there. Bit of an unlucky pass there. Again, take a touch upwards. We're just always avoiding that player, that white cursor. Then if you combine, for example, like 1-2s, and you can go forward, so you can go like this, and you can do a 1-2. We have created going into space. Now there's space above us, and now we can go in for the shot. And that is what I was mentioning in that example where I said 1-2s, you know, L1Xs and regular X passes. But you see, I only made that touch forward because there was a lot of space around me. There was space in front. And that is the key. What we'll do in the second half is we'll do the exact same thing, but we'll just establish a bit of running inside. So the game is going to defend situation. Again, don't worry too much about the defending in this game. Take a touch away. Again, like here, take a touch away. See? Always keeping the ball safe. So you can see the general principle is if there's a player coming towards me, I'm always taking a touch into that safe area. It's nothing to do with the tactics. People always wonder, is there like a specific tactics to play? No, it's probably the most simplest thing, but also the misunderstood thing. Remember, the key thing here is when you make that pass, if your opponent is over here, you gotta take a touch into the safe area. Remember, you can go to like this, like this, like this. When you're going like beyond this point over here, that's the no-go zone. And if you're looking, even if, for example, my players are an off angle, let's say, for example, my opponent is here, should I say, then obviously you take that pass, you take that touch into that safe angle. So it's always about taking that touch into a safe angle. That is how you keep the ball. That's the basics of maneuverability. Again, I've not even changed formation really. I've just been using the most basic tactic. We're going to go to the 4-2-3-1 actually. And we're going to do the exact same thing. You know, the patterns, it doesn't really matter. You can see, like, taking touches here, safe. The good thing is players are very cheap. They see, like, so this touches away, take a touch that away. Then look, see how I let my body protect the ball. You see that? Let my body protect the ball here. Look at this. So I make a pass. If I take a touch to the right hand side, he can't get the ball. Look, even if I move to the right hand side like this, he won't be able to get the ball as easily if I'm moving because my body naturally shields the ball. Now, you can use the L2 button. You don't need to. I'll be honest, I never or rarely use it. You don't need to use the L2 button because the L2 button, the body, your kind of player kind of nudges into the back of the ball. Now, it shields it, but it's harder for me to dribble, you see? I can't turn as well as I want to. Do you see that? It's hard for me to turn. So just take a simple touch. Your body will protect. Remember that. Even someone like Neymar, not the most of strong players. Look at that. My body's protecting the ball naturally. See that? Look at that. Alaba. Take a touch away. He can't get the ball here. As long as I'm taking that touch away, he can't get that ball. It's only if he comes at an angle. If he's directly behind me, he can't get that ball regardless. There's a few exceptions where he may get the ball due to bad gameplay or bugs in the gameplay, but generally speaking, if you take that touch away, look, your body will shield the ball. If you stand still, of course you can, like if you stand still like this, of course you can run around you, and that is why you want to make sure you're always moving with the ball into a direction, whether that's safe angle or a cross angle, whatever. Like here, take a touch away, take a touch away. Bit unlucky there with the pass. Take a touch away. Now, then what you can do is if you've got space, now this only if you've got space around you, you can run. Take a touch. Oh no, we see what happened there? How did we lose the ball? Because we tried taking a touch where he was in front of me, and that's the risk you take. If someone is in front of you and you take that touch, that's going to be a chance of you losing the ball. So if we show you again from the kickoff, if someone is coming towards you, you take a touch away immediately, and that is why you don't hold the run button. A lot of players, they hold the run button like this, then they try to take a touch away and it's too late. Like they run by like this, try to take a touch, it's too late. I'm kind of getting away with it, but like that's an example I can show you there. got a bit fortunate. When you hold the run button, you take a touch. It's too late. When you hold a run button, your player takes a longer stride. And that is a big, big issue. That's why when you're controlling the ball, you just want to hold the left analog stick. So again, I'll show you another example. If we hold the run button here, we've got space in front of us, we might get away with it. You can see we lost the ball there almost. See, same thing here. Take every touch going forward. Take every touch going forward. Take a heavy touch going forward. It's much harder for you to control the ball because your player naturally pushes the ball forward. And that is why I say don't hold the run button. You know, when you hold the run button, you control the ball first yourself, like this, left analog stick. If there's space, then you run. If you can't run, then you take a touch away. Look, see, I'm not even going to attempt to go into that space. Just go around him. It's easier. Like that, left analog stick touch. We see loads of space below us. We're going to let go of the run button earlier, so ready. Loads of space there. But we've got to take a touch away now. Just going to let it go. And have a look, for example, if you hold the run button, you take a touch. Look at this. Have a look. Almost getting away with it, just about. Almost, I'll be honest. Bad defending and panicking from my opponent. That's the only reason why I got that space. But you see, when you hold the run button, say you push that ball forward, you nudge it forward. If I want to turn left, I have to wait for him to touch the ball again. You see that? Look, Mbappe. Look, I'm going to hold the run button. Look, I'm holding the left hand stick backwards. Look, it's not even working. I can't even take a touch backwards. You see that? But if I do the same thing with Mbappe now, with left analog stick, you can see that I can turn. Like this, simple. Again, take a touch away. Then you combine it with the 1-2s like this. Then you get the 1-2s going forward. That player's making an overlap. Can I make a pass? No, that player's made an overlap. I see the player above me is free. Take a touch away. Make a pass, whatever. And that is where you combine the 1-2s. But you have to get that basics out of the way first. And that's what you got to learn. Knowing when to run away, knowing when not to. Here, take a touch away. Run, let go a little bit. This is a more advanced level. Again, quick 1-2. Is there space in front of me? No. So I'm going to go backwards, try to recycle the ball. Good defending from my opponent. Again, just ignore the defending, just in this example. Defending is not really important here. Good goal from my opponent. Again, I'm not going to worry too much about the defending here. This is just purely an example. Take a touch away. Again, see that risky? See how risky that is? You just wait. You go into that space forward and you wait. It's a big risk. But if you just take that touch away safe all the time, you're fine. There's space in front of me. See I held the run button? How did I lose the ball? It's because I'm holding the run button. Took a heavier touch. Away. Bit of a good press from my opponent there. Fair play, he read that well. Got that ball. Take a touch away. Take a touch away. We're going to do a bit of a more advanced thing, an L1 trigger, but I'm sure many of you guys know the L1 trigger already. Take a touch into the space. Good foul for my opponent, and he brought me down. Now watch, even inside the box, we're going to do the exact same thing. We just left down long stick dribbling. So we're just going to bring someone closer here. Take a touch. Oh, that was not intended. Neither was that. Bit of a take a touch away. Neymar, take a touch away. Park Ji-sung, take a touch away. Look at the control we have inside the box. Forward, no. Let him make a mistake. We're just going to wait for him. Touch away. And this is how we're keeping the ball. And then once you get that space, you can do a bit of juggling. Let him make a mistake, for example, like that. Let him make that mistake. And then you can take a shot towards goal. So you see what we did there? We let him make the mistake. We didn't make the mistake ourselves. We let him make the mistake. And that's what's the most important thing. Let your opponent panic inside the box. You just have to find them. Remember I was talking about find the angle to take a shot. As long as you got the ball inside the box and you can find an angle, you are completely fine. But it's finding the angle which is sometimes the most difficult thing. Again, same thing here. Doing a 1-2, doing a 1-2 again. 1-2. Took a bit of risk, we tried taking a touch forward there. Here we kind of got to take a touch going forward because the referee's going to blow the whistle. And as I said, that is just an example of how you can take a touch. Now, remember one thing I want to mention to you. I'm just going to show you something right now. Very, very quickly. And this goes back to the example that I showed you in the prior video. Is that it all depends on just the left stick touches. So here, I'm just going to go back over here. And I'm going to show you the tactical board over here. And we're going to go over to the replay in a second. And we're going to remove the controllers as well. Okay, now you see inside the box, this is what I was doing with Neymar, but I was just looking for that exit. I was looking for the exit. Can I make a touch to the player's left? So I put this in white. I was thinking, can I make a touch over here to take a shot towards goal? It's up to him to defend this situation. And that is why I say there's no need to rush or there's no need to panic about the situation, because you will find the space. If we go over just in a general sense to the replays, we can see, for example, over here. And we're not going to worry too much about the actual goal itself, but you can see when we get the ball over here, we do a pass. See with Correa, we take a touch away there. You see that? Not into the not to Varane's left or right, because that's very risky. We take a touch away. Then we do a 1-2 or a pass or something. Now we see Mbappe, he made that run. Look who made this pass to Mbappe, that give and go. Mbappe makes that run. Then we make that pass. He makes a mistake. Then we take a touch into an angle and then we take a shot. Now you see, no, I don't take a touch to the left hand side. I take a touch to the right hand side. See, a lot of players here will take a touch going forward. But you see, what I realize is that if I take a touch going forward, he could cut me off there, because he has enough time for me to cut me off basically before I can take a shot towards goal. So the key thing is I take a touch this way, create that angle, that way I keep the ball safe, he's far away, and I can take that shot. You see, look at that player, how much he stretched. If I took a touch in front towards a penalty spot, he would definitely have got the ball there. You see that there? And that's the simple basic taking a touch. If we go with the Correa example over here, this is the other one. You can see we did a bit of a give and go. We had space in front of us, in all fairness. We could have taken that touch into this area, but we did a give and go. Ronaldo, we waited. See Ronaldo, we run opposite way. We don't go there. Correa makes a, look, he's got all that space. Now we can take a touch going forward or inside the box. Why? Because there's no one around us. If there was a defender, if this guy was over here, I would have taken a touch this way and then had to go that way. But because we have so much space in front of us, we were allowed to then take a shot towards goal. Okay, if we go with the final example, the main one I wanted to mention, Neymar. Look, when we get the ball, we take a touch downwards into the space. We realize he's coming around us. We take a touch away from goal. Then he overcommits. Then we go into the angle there. Then you see what, if we wanted to, we could have taken a shot there, but I let him panic. Take a touch away. There's space there. Now, to be honest, I could have kept running through if I really wanted to and taken a shot. But just to give you a bit more of an example, I take a touch away, keep the ball safe, go back again, let him panic. Then I take a touch even wider away from him. Again, we're keeping the ball safe. And why? It's because he's selecting this player with a white cursor. And then we take a shot towards goal. So you see, the key thing is that left analog stick. Just keeping that left analog stick simple. Simple touches, not running with the ball. Remember, when you run, you take long strides. It's harder for you to control the ball. When you left analog stick, if you wanted to make a pass, remember, at this exact point over there, you would have to wait when you're running for your player to touch the ball again over here. With this one, you can just turn direction straight away without worrying. And that's the key difference. Remember to always jog, simple left analog stick. Keep it very simple.